Oh, shit.
Yeah, you're completely burned up, dude. You haven't noticed that? You've been burned up for the last 2 weeks coming in here. You have sucker played yourself in a practical joke in order to sit there and actually have felony charges, possible felony charges, at least a class one misdemeanor.
Wait,
Now,
what?
whether
Against
or not
me?
someone's going to bother to go far out of their way and call you 10 days after an event happens in order to give you a retaliatory ticket, okay, that's a
Not 10 days.
completely
It was
different
like,
story.
within 10 days.
But it's still a
No.
misdemeanor. It's still a misdemeanor and possibly going to a felony. How do you plead?
Well, I didn't do it. Why am I going to be the
I'm
felony? I didn't.
talking about everything that you've done. I've got it recorded in my own shows what you've done.
What are you going to charge me with a felony now? For
I'm not
what?
a prosecutor. And I doubt very seriously a
The
prosecutor is
fuck?
going to pursue a type 1 misdemeanor, a class 1 misdemeanor, with a possible, if they can get it, and do all that investigation in order to sit there and track down a petty offense. Unlike me, they have animosity toward, they're going to sit there and call me back 10 days after the fact in order to give me a ticket, in order to
Oh, wait,
sit
what's
there
my?
and
I
prove
want to
their
get down to this.
animosity.
What's my
So
crime?
tell me
What's
about
my
it.
crime? I want to know what my crime is. Why am I being charged? What's my
You're an
misdemeanor?
accessory.
Or felony?
You're an
Huh?
accessory and a third party harasser, which is a first class misdemeanor and or a felony, depending on its severity. So, I mean, we've already
I'm
established
an
that.
accessory,
Yes.
a third party accessory. What are you talking about? I, dude, I roll
You
solo,
don't know
man.
what
I don't know what the fuck you're
accessory,
talking
you
about.
don't know what third party accessory, you don't know the words that's coming out of my mouth. That's very amazing, dude.
Well, when they don't make
Now you're
sense, when they don't
completely
fucking
evasive,
fit.
huh?
You
Now
know, I'm
you're
being
completely
incredulous. I know what the
evasive.
words mean.
Now you're
I'm like,
completely evasive. And someone in the chat wanted to say, "Oh, you signed a confession with 5 different people's handwriting on it. Not one of them mine." Okay. Took 5 people in order to sit there and fake that confession using a Xerox copy machine, which is obvious within after you start looking at the actual documents, which wasn't even available to me until way after time. I had to protect my father. Tell me, what would you do for your family in order to protect your family?
I wouldn't plead guilty to sexually assaulting a
So you
minor.
wouldn't protect your family.
I wouldn't plead
You're not
guilty to
going to
sexually
protect your
assaulting a minor
family.
if I did.
You're
If
not
I
going to
didn't do
make
it, I
any
wouldn't.
sacrifice. You're not going to make any sacrifice in order to protect the well-being of your father. Man, you are a lowlife.
If I was innocent,
You
my
would
father
sit
would
there. You
understand.
would actually sit there and have your father in a fucking home. Okay,
You're gonna
without
put this
anyone
on your.
actually
You're gonna put
caring
this on
for
your
him.
dad. That is
You
insane.
would
You
not
know,
have
that's pretty.
family
That's the
around.
lowest,
You
most
would abandon your
despicable thing.
family.
You're gonna put this on your
That's what you
dad.
just said. You would abandon your family.
I wouldn't abandon my family. My family would
That's what you
understand that if I'm
just said,
innocent, I don't
though.
plead guilty, and they understand
You
that. Now
just
you're.
said
I
that
think
you
you're putting
would
this on your
abandon
dad.
your
That's a
family
damn shame.
because
You're putting
you.
all what you did to that minor. You're putting this
I
on your
never did
father.
anything
That
to
is
anybody.
insane.
Again, you're just sitting there making things up. I didn't do anything to anybody.
You pled guilty for your
No,
father.
I did not
That's
plead
what you're
guilty
saying.
to something I did. I did not plead
You
guilty to something I did. I pled guilty to false charge in order to protect my family. Now, you're not going to protect your family. Everybody that you love and care for are people that care for you. You have no empathy for whatsoever. You will sit there and throw them all under the bus in order to make sure nobody except Naven is satisfied, huh?
How does the song go? I
That's
would.
what you're telling me.
Okay.
That you would
Okay.
sit there and under the circumstances that you had to sacrifice your well-being, your reputation, or anything that would inconvenience you, you would not do that for your family. That's what you just told me.
How does the song go? I would do anything for love, but I won't do that.
Well, then you're that much of a lowlife. You won't do shit for
Okay.
anybody that cares for you. Anybody that sit there and put their fucking life out for you for fucking over fucking 30 years. You won't fucking back up your own father. That's what I'm hearing. And that's coming out of your
But
mouth, dude. That's coming out of your mouth. You would not sit there and take a bullet to save your family. That's what you're saying.
That's not the question. You asked
Well,
me
that
if I
is
would
the
plead.
question. That's
I would
what
plead
happened.
guilty to something I didn't do, especially something like
No,
not a
no,
speeding
I took
ticket,
a bullet for my
molest,
family to
but
make sure my
sexually
family was
assaulting a
okay.
minor,
I
assaulting
took a
sexually
no.
minor.
There's not
No, I
none of
would
that,
not.
Naven.
I would
You're just
not
rambling
plead
and trying to
guilty
make
for
excuses.
anybody.
You
There
will
is
not take a
nothing
bullet for your
on
family.
earth. I'm answering your question.
No, you're
There's nothing
not.
on
You're
earth
not.
I would
You're
do to plead guilty to that if I didn't do it.
really.
Nothing on earth that I would plead
Your
guilty to
family, the
assaulting an
well-being of your
innocent
family,
child,
the future
an
of your
innocent
father,
child,
everything. You would
if I didn't
sacrifice
do it.
everybody in order to protect you. That's what you're telling me.
Nope.
You are
If I
not.
was innocent,
You are not human.
if I
dude.
was innocent,
you are
I
not
would
human.
not
You are a narcissist
ever
motherfucker that would
plead
sit there and throw your
guilty
father under the
to
goddamn bus.
assaulting,
That's what you're
sexually
fucking telling
assaulting
me.
an
You're
innocent.
telling me that you're going to throw your father under the bus because there's no way that you would sacrifice yourself. That's what you just said. You're a fucking piece of shit.
You're incapable of understanding. You're incapable.
I'm incapable
First
of
of all,
understanding why you
my
would throw your
father-
father under the
my
bus.
father
Okay,
would-
explain to me
listen.
why you would throw your father under the bus. What did he do
My
to
father
you?
would
He dedicated
disown
his
me.
entire fucking life and gave you life, and now you're going to throw your father under the bus. Why? Tell me all the things that you would follow. So we have false charges against you that you would just throw your father under the bus, right? You have, what else would you throw him under the bus? Because he asked you in order to sit there and fix supper tonight? Because he's
Yeah, that makes
incapable?
sense.
Is that what you would throw him under the bus? You would just let him starve? How bad
Yeah,
of a
that makes
person
sense.
are you, Naven?
Yeah, that makes total sense. Yeah, that's pretty. So my father would disown me if I ever sexually assaulted a minor.
That wasn't
First
the
of all.
question, dude.
I'm going to get to the second part too.
Well, everybody
if-
knows I never sexually insulted anyone, including her and everybody that was in the house. You never sit there and realize there was over 14 people in the house when all this was supposed to happen. Okay, you never looked at the fucking documents. You never sit there and seen where they had 3 or 4 different so-called eyewitnesses that were never interviewed.
None of
Eyewitnesses,
this
dude,
matters
that was
because
never
you
interviewed.
pled guilty.
And no,
on a
dude,
on a
no, that's
stream,
irrelevant. Okay, again, falsely charged, and you want to sit there and say, so you're going to throw your father under the bus and everything in order to protect your narcissism.
No, I honor my father.
You are
so much
you
that
honor him by throwing him under the bus.
I would honor my father so much that I would never tarnish his name by having sex with a minor.
Well, that's good.
how
I
much-
never had sex
not
with
to
a
mention-
minor
not
either,
to mention
so
it's
I guess
fucking
that
evil.
conversation's over. Bye. You're an idiot, dude. Actually, a moron. Because you've come in here trying to say that a forged document is a legal document. No, dude, it doesn't fly. Your shit doesn't fly. My shit's flying. It's going to be flying all the way for the next probably 8 years, all the way back to Illinois. You see, there's things you can do something about, and then things that you cannot do. And up until about 2 weeks ago, there wasn't much I could do about Robert either. But now that there's TROs going both ways, we have peace. Imagine that, peace. And I'm not the one that instigated this. They're the ones, every single time, they came to me. Instigating it. Oh, no, they didn't. Yeah, they did. So, Naven is probably the biggest hypocrite I've probably met, that thinks that the stammering that he just did, okay, has any bearing. It doesn't. He would throw his fucking father under the bus, since he's being so flippant.